Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Avery. I'm 26 years old and today's video is going to be a budget with me. So my budgeting strategy is what is known as a zero-based budget. A zero-based budget is a framework that assigns a job to every dollar of your take-home pay. In other words, you're aiming for what you bring in and what you spend to hit zero each month. But that doesn't necessarily mean your goal is to spend everything you earn. So it'll make more sense when I get into my actual budgeting, but essentially what I do is I get my income and I make sure I give every dollar a job. And the way that I do that is I use the budgeting software YNAB, or You Need a Budget. It's a digital envelope budgeting system that allows me to easily track all of my savings goals, spending goals, and sinking funds without having to worry about running out of money or spending money I do not have. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Like I mentioned, I'm in the budgeting software YNAB, or You Need a Budget. If this is something that you do want to try, I will have a link down below for a 34-day free trial. Full disclosure, if you end up subscribing using my link, you'll get an additional 34 days free and I will get 30 days free. So just something to keep in mind. Okay, so today I'm budgeting my first paycheck from the month of September. I have $1,708.01 available to me. I do get paid bi-weekly, so that means my monthly pay in most months is around $3,400. The first thing that I need to do is cover some overspending. Since I have been waiting to budget on camera, I have already spent some money and I need to make sure I account for that before I start putting any of this money towards any other spending categories. So I'm going ahead and cover my date night. We went to a breakfast place. I've also spent $31.25 on dining out, which is not ideal. I've only spent $29.32 on groceries, which is pretty good. I already have groceries for this week, so it should not be too expensive going forward, but I do need to cover the overspending. I also spent $27.51 on YouTube. This is a new category for me. I am trying to get more involved in this hobby, and part of that was purchasing equipment that will hopefully let me make higher quality videos. If you're seeing this, hopefully it's higher quality. But one of those things is I did get a camera. Now this is not something you see in my budget because that is something my boyfriend decided to gift to me, which is very nice of him. But I did need to buy an SD card, so I ended up purchasing that, and this is what that $27.51 is. And then finally, and this is a big one, I am very overspent on beauty. So I normally struggle with this category quite a bit simply because it tends to be something that I put off more often than not in favor of other savings goals or spending goals. And I really want to hopefully, once I get past saving for my emergency fund, put more focus on health and beauty, because ultimately I haven't been liking the way I've been looking lately, and I'm hoping that if I put more money into these categories, I'm not going to feel as bad as about prioritizing that. This $162.66 is a haircut, and I also went to Target to get some hair products, makeup products, and I want to say that's it. Oh, I got hair products, makeup products, and I also got some stuff for my teeth, so to help whiten them. So $162.66, I'll cover that with my ready to assign. And now that I've done that, I can take the remaining amount and actually budget the money. Something I like to do is I like to get a month ahead. What that means is I'm going to go ahead and start using my September paycheck to start covering October's expenses. So $336.25, I like to budget half for rent. I do live with my boyfriend. So $336.25 to my rent, and then $49 to my phone, $64.29 to car insurance. I'm going to do half of my spend classes. I am going to a spend studio. I'm not going to put any towards my student loans simply because they are in forbearance still. $12.99 to Canva Pro, so that's what I use to make my YouTube thumbnails, and $29 towards subscriptions, which is like Spotify, Apple Care, things like that. Now I'm going to take a look at the rest of my October expenses and see if there's anything I want to set aside now. Otherwise, I will just go back and use the remaining money for my savings funds or my savings goals. Let's go ahead and cover these yearly expenses. So $825 to YNAB, $750 to Costco. I put $29.17 into my Amex fund, and then maybe $13 into Kindle Unlimited. That covers, I believe, all of my actual bills and my yearly expenses. The only thing that's really left that I will cover with my second paycheck is the rest of rent and the rest of spend classes, which is great. I'm really getting planning far ahead on these expenses. Of course, this doesn't mean this is my only expenses for the month of October, like discretionary spending like groceries and household, but I will come back to this at a later point. I made myself a list of notes just to make sure I'm not missing anything for my budgeting, which is always something I like to do in advance, because ultimately if I'm not keeping track or keeping a plan, I will end up putting money aside or not putting money aside when I need to for certain categories. So what that means is I needed to cover October's expenses. I've done that. I covered my overspending. Now I need to look at my pet category. So let me scroll down. I have a whole section for my dog Cece. She is the most expensive thing I have ever owned. She really is $1 million dog. That's what I like to call her. Over the past year since I've got her, it's been thousands of dollars in expenses. I will be making a video about this. I am going to give myself a deadline of 1 month from now. I will have a video up all about my first year of pet ownership. So if that's something you want to see, definitely hit the subscribe button and stick around for when that's available. That being said, for the second year of pet ownership, I did decide to make more granular categories for her. So I'm going to cover her pet insurance, which is already covered. Actually, I'm going to go back to October and add the $23 in. And then basically what I'm doing is I have a yearly premium for this. So I break it up into month by month, which means about on a monthly basis, we need to cover about $23. My boyfriend does help with her expenses since we do have her together. He does send me money and I put it into this category. So everything we see here is everything we have for the dog. I need to put money into her grooming. I probably should make a target for this. So in YNAB, you can make what's called weekly, monthly, yearly custom targets. I'm going to do a monthly target for $42.50. That way each month I'll save about $85 because currently she's getting her hair done. She's a dog. She's getting her hair done once every 8 weeks or so. So that costs about $85 each time. So weekly we need, or monthly we need about $42.50. So I'll set that up. Okay, I'm gonna do half of $42.50. That way when my boyfriend sends money, I can also allocate it into this category as well. The biggest expense for Miss CC this month, or at the start of October, is she's getting her yearly checkup and vaccinations. I did reach out to the vet so I could get at least an estimate on how much this may cost, and it's looking like it'll be anywhere from $500 to $600. I don't want to elaborate at this time on whether or not I feel like that is a good price or not. From what I've heard, things are just very expensive around here, which is something, it's not ideal, but it is what it is. Now that I have more knowledge and information, I can just better prepare for it. And that's ultimately what I like about having my budget in YNAB, is I'm able to make long-term planning and decisions with my spending and my finances that allows me to set myself up for long-term success. I don't like having a lot of stress when it comes to where am I going to get the money for something. I much prefer this way of budgeting with the digital envelopes, where I can set aside a little bit of money each month for many of my expenses. That way when they roll around on once a year, twice a year, non-routine basis, I have money set aside, which ultimately helps me way better than just kind of flying by the seat of my pants. So yeah, that being said, I think I'm gonna put $100 into this category for now, and then from there let's focus on my actual savings goals. I have two major savings goals right now. The first one is, if I can find it, actually I said I wanted to hold on the flight. I forgot. I'm thinking about doing a giveaway, but what I really need to put money towards right this moment is therapy. I have not gone in a couple months, but now I'm getting back into it. The only problem is I have a new insurance, so I don't know how much is this gonna cost. I'm hoping not a ton, but it might be what it is. I just put another $15 into transportation to cover gas. I am out of gas. I don't drive that often though, so I'm gonna see how long I can hold off, but when I do fill up, it'll probably be anywhere from $40 to $50. For therapy, I'm gonna guess $75 and really hope that it is not underdoing it. Ideally, if it was up to me, it would be about, I would just like to pay the copay, which is $30, but I know different insurances do behavioral or mental health differently, so let's hope we're overshooting it and undershooting it. And then finally, let's put some money into my emergency fund. I'm gonna do $486.80 divided by 2. I have a goal by the end of this year to reach $12,000. This is a very lofty goal, but I'm really thinking there's a chance that I can hit it if I stay the course. So that's why it's taking up such a significant amount of money each month or each paycheck. Now I have $336.62 remaining. I want to put money towards food. I don't want any money in the grocery or dining out category. So we'll put $100 in groceries. I have $236.62 remaining. I'm gonna put $100 into my Roth IRA. So where is that category? Let's put the $36.62 into fun, because I don't know what's going on, but I'd like to have some fun. I'm actually gonna take the Kindle Unlimited money that I set aside for October and move it back to September, since I haven't covered that yet. I can just cover October at a later paycheck. It says I am underfunded by, we're doing pretty good, honestly. I need to put money actually into the cruise. So what is my goal with this? December 23rd. Does I need $1,000 more dollars? Okay, let's cover the $129.34. I'm gonna put under 99 cents into the cruise category just to get it to an even number. I wanted to make a fall events category, but I don't think I really have enough money to do that. Probably not going to worry about it. I'm just going to take another $33. I will cover the flight, I think. $33.26. Biggest thing is like dining out. This has been a very, 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 very big struggle for me. I think I might do a little better this month, but that doesn't necessarily mean I should do $0. Actually, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put $35 into the terrarium category. So I'm going to a terrarium class, and I'm not really sure how much this will cost because it's kind of like DIY, but I'm shooting for $70. So this is at the end of September. So if I put 35 in now, I can do the other 35 in my second paycheck. So maybe I create a target so I just don't forget about this. Put it towards the end of the month. I'll say $75, or not $70, $35 more dollars. And I have $141 remaining. I'm probably just going to dump this into, I've now given every dollar a job. That means all the money that came in for my paycheck is completely accounted for. And what this will do for me is it will, one, set me up for October's success, because I actually have already set aside money for October's expenses, but it's also letting me make sure I stay on track with my various long-term savings goals and sinking funds. So using a zero-based budget has really been very helpful in my financial journey. I have been out of college now for a little over 4 years. And without implementing a zero-based budget, I don't think I'd be as far with my finances and investing and savings, nor would I have as much clarity. I really just enjoy using YNAB. It took quite a while and a little bit of a learning curve to get into it, but if you are interested in it, like I said, there's a link down below, and definitely check out their YouTube channel, as they have a lot of helpful content on there, as well as their website. Like I mentioned, I did get a new camera, so I'm very excited to switch up my content a little bit and do some more on the go, maybe cooking, things I really enjoy but haven't really had a chance to film, simply because I have been using and relying on either screen recording or my webcam. So very exciting things to come. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Please like this video, it helps out my channel. You can subscribe to stick around. Otherwise, I will see you all in the next one. Bye now.